This is Caroline Rexrode. She's an 18-year-old freshman here at GW from North Carolina. Back at home, she's actively involved with the organization Planned Parenthood. So I sat down with her to have a chat about what her role in the organization is. So tell us a little bit about your position in Planned Parenthood.
So I started as a volunteer, just, your typical like phone banker, data entry type, position, just interning for fun at Planned Parenthood when I was 16. And then I just got really into the whole leadership role that was presenting itself to me in terms of like recruiting other people who I knew, or going to community events and reaching out to people about getting involved with the Planned Parenthood community. So eventually I became a volunteer leader for the Raleigh office, and that led me to apply to the Planned Parenthood Federation of America's Young Leaders Advisory Council, which is a group of about 20 young people from across the country, and we all work together to sort of keep the leadership of Planned Parenthood in touch with their younger base, their actual patient base, which is primarily young people and people of color. And yeah, it's really rewarding.
What made you want to get involved with Planned Parenthood?
So being from North Carolina, I knew a lot of people who were put into situations that they absolutely should just never have been in. And most of them were just revolved around having no access or education when it came to sexual and reproductive health. As a teenager and as a high schooler, frankly, like, teenagers have sex, and we had abstinence plus sex education in North Carolina, which meant that our state statute says that the expected standard for all school-age children is to be completely abstinent, and if you are sexually active in the future, it's expected that you are in a monogamous, heterosexual, married relationship. So that's the mandatory curriculum in North Carolina, and there is education revolving around birth control and STDs, but it actually is against the law to teach about abortion and emergency contraception in North Carolina. So I definitely ran into a lot of situations where people were struggling and putting themselves at risk just because, they didn't have the right education.
A lot of politicians and public figures are calling for Planned Parenthood to be defunded. As a member of the organization, can you make the case for us? Why should taxpayers continue to fund Planned Parenthood?
What Planned Parenthood does for communities is not limited to abortion. We provide essential birth control care, OBGYN care, vaccinations, healthcare to prevent STDs and STIs. Yeah, it's really, really necessary, and there's people who rely on Planned Parenthood as their only source for these types of care.